Subha Havasak Siyulu Dinama. So sorry for starting late, guys. I was too busy with certain work, so I couldn't start exactly at 30. I do apologize for the inconvenience caused, but today we are going to discuss everything about Lanka Premier League 2023 auctions, because the LPL 2023 auctions start tomorrow at 3 p.m. IST. So I'll give all the details on that. Plus, we will be discussing about the pre-signings. What else we have to discuss about the player list, auction list, which I will also share with you guys. So I'll be doing all that today. So mama okkoma කරනවා. I think මම සිංහල ඉංග්‍රීසි එක කතා කරන්නම් දෙකේම සිංහල වලින් කතා කරන්නම්. ඉතින් අපි දන්නවා දැන් ලංකා ප්‍රීමියර් ලීග් දැන් මේ 4th එඩිෂන් එක දැන් ප්‍රථම පාර තමයි මේගොල්ලෝ දැන් ඔක්ෂනයක් කරන්නේ. අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා බැලුකොට මේ ෆස්ට් 3 සීසන්ස් ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ ඩ්‍රාෆ්ට් කරේ. දැන් මේ පාර අලුත්ම කන්සෙප්ට් එකක් කරලා තියෙනවා. දැන් මේ IPL වගේ IPL අපි දන්නවා IPL SA20 අපි දන්නවා ඔක්ෂන් එකක් කරනවා වෙන්දේසි වලට. දැන් ලංකා ප්‍රීමියර් ලීග් එකෙත් ඒක වෙන්දේසිය කරනවා ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා. ඉතින් ඒක තමයි වෙන්නේ දැන් තත්ත්වය වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් so that's a good addition. I would feel like LPL and SA20 අපි දැක්කා දැන් වෙන්දේසි කරනවා ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා. දැන් අපි දන්නවා දැන් LPL එකෙත් ඒක තමයි කරන්නේ. So I mean this is going to be the third league that is going to do I mean auction, because other leagues like Big Bash League, IL20 and all these other franchises, Bangladesh Premier League, PSL, they all do draft system, but LPL is doing auction. So I think that's a huge bonus, I would feel. All right, I think api begin karamu. So I'll just share my screen a bit, guys. So I'll just tell the information. So I think you guys can see in English, but I'll just tell a bit in Sinhala as well, so then people will understand. Just give me a second with this list. So this is the player list. I'll come to that later. Just give me a second. Oh, sorry, this is not in here. Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah, all right. All right, among wait, is it not this? Should be there. Did I think I shared that? Just give me a second, guys. And I don't think I shared that. All right, anyways, no worries, guys. I'll read that out to you guys. I'm gonna make a කියවන්නම්. Just give me a second. I will stop sharing screen. So it over here. Just give me a second. Yeah, all right. The inaugural player auction of the Lanka Premier League takes place tomorrow. 360 players to come under the hammer. The Lanka Premier League 2023 will reach new heights when it holds its first ever player auction tomorrow, June 14th, at the Shangri-La Hotel, Colombo. Some of the top names in the cricket under the hammer at the LPL auctions. A total of 360 players, both capped and uncapped, are registered to obtain a place to play in the 4th edition of the Lanka Premier League 2023, Sri Lanka's top domestic 2020 competition with an international flavour. Among the registered players are 156 overseas players and 204 domestic players. Auction round. The auction, which will start at 3 p.m., will have 51 rounds, focusing on multiple talent options such as batters, all-rounders, fast and spin bowlers, and wicket keepers, with different segments for each criteria, such as capped batters, uncapped batters. During the auction, a franchise will have to pick a minimum of 16 players, including 4 foreign players, as each franchise already has pre-signed 2 overseas players along with 2 Sri Lankan players. Each franchise will also have to pick 1 under 21 Sri Lanka player at the auction, which is a mandatory requirement. Auction purse. In total, the auctions will have a collective purse of US dollars 2.5 million from all 5 franchise teams, while each franchise will bring in a sum of USD 500,000. මම මේක ෂෙයා කරන්න පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න මේ මේක මම Gmail එකෙන් ෂෙයා කරන්න මේක මට ෂෙයා ස්ක්‍රීන් කරන්න බෑ මට free access එක නෑ මේකේ. So just give me a second on this. Then I can speak in Sinhala then, because people can read in English. So, all right, just give me a second. All right. All right, just give me a second. පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න කට්ටිය මම මේක කරන්නම් කොහොම හරි. Just give me a second. I know no people are watching. Sorry මම චුට්ටක් පරක් වෙන වුණා විනාඩි 10ක් 15ක් මට සමා වෙන්න. මම ගෙස්ටුත් ගේනවා දැන් මේ මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේ ඉන්ට්‍රොඩක්ෂන් ඔක්කොම කියවලා ඔක්කොම කරලා තමයි මම ගෙස්ව ගේන්නේ. ඉතින් පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න මම මේක කරන්න. හරි. Just give me a second until I do all this. මම ඔක්කොමලට පිස් සබස්ක්‍රයිබ් කරන්න ෂෙයා කරන්න. මම LPL ඔක්ෂණය කරනවා හෙට 2:15 වෙනකොට මම මේ ආරම්භක කරනවා මේ LPL ඔක්ෂන් එක ලයිව්. අපි ඔක්කොම ඩිස්කස් කරනවා. ඉතින් ඒ ඔක්කොම කරනවා 3ට පටන් ගන්න LPL ඔක්ෂන් එක. හැබැයි 2යි කාල්ට මම කොහොම හරි එන්නම් මේක ඔක්කොම ඩිස්කස් කරනවා. ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා ඉන්න අය ඔක්කොම අපි කරනවා. ඉතින් මේක කියලා තියෙන්නේ දැන් 360ක් ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා යනවා අන්ඩර් ද හැම හෙට හෙට ලංකා ප්‍රිමියර් ලීග් ඔක්ෂන් එක ජූනි 14 වෙනිදා තමයි පටන් ගන්නෙ. ටෝටල් 360ක් ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා ඔක්ෂන් වෙනවා හෙට. විදේශී අය 156යි, ලෝකල් අය ලෝකල් කට්ටිය 204ක් ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා යනවා ඔක්ෂන් එකේ. ඉතින් මේ ජාත්‍යන්තර ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා 156යි, දේශීය ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා 204ක් යනවා මේ වෙන්දේසියට හෙට. ඉතින් අපිත් දන්නවා දැන් මේ හෙට ඔක්ෂන් එක පටන් ගන්නවා 3ට හෙට. ඒක කන්ෆර්ම් කරලා තියෙනවා ශ්‍රී ලංකා ක්‍රිකට් බෝඩ් එකේ. හෙට 3ට පටන් ගන්නවා LPL ඔක්ෂන් එක. ඒක රවුන්ඩ්ස් 51ක් තියෙනවා. ඒකේ මේ මේ බැටර්ස්ලා ඉඳවා පිටිකරු තුන් හැරි පිටිකරුවන් ඉන්නවා, ඔල්රවුන්ඩර්ස්ලා, වේග පන්දු, දඟ පන්දු, කඳුළු රැති විකට් කීපර්ස්ලා ඉන්නවා. මේ ඩිෆරන්ට් සෙග්මන්ට්ස් උත් තියෙනවා. කැප් බැටර්ස් උයි අන්කැප් බැටර්ස් උත් ඉන්නවා. ඉතින් මේ ඔක්ෂන් එකේ මේ ටීම් එකක් මේ ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා 16ක් ගන්න පුළුවන්, including 4 foreign players. මේක තමයි වෙන්නේ. ඒක තමයි තත්ත්වය වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. පර්ස් එක කතා කරනකොට මේ US ඩොලර්ස් මේ 2.5ක් මිලියන් මේ මිලියන් ගානක් පර්ස් එක තියෙනවා. හැබැයි ෆ්‍රැන්චයිස් එක මේ 500,000 තමයි මේ each franchise තියෙන්නේ. 500 ගානක්. ඔව්. We may teams will have to ensure that they invest a minimum of 85% of the purse. 85ක් මේ මිනිමම් තියෙන්න ඕන පර්ස් එකේ. ඉතින් වෙනම අපි කියන්නේ 500,000 වෙනම තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් මිලියන එකක් තමයි මේ US dollars තමයි each franchise team has මිලියන එකක්. හැබැයි collective purse එක බලනකොට 1 into මේ 500,000 into 5 2.5 million තමයි හෙට මේ auction එකට include වෙන්නේ. 5 teams included 2.5 වෙන්නේ. හැබැයි each team 500,000 තමයි දෙන්නේ. ඒක තමයි තත්ත්වය වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ LPL එකේ. ඔව්. Then now we'll discuss about the changes and everything and the signed players. So when we talk, okay, latest news අපි දන්නවා දැන් Gall Gladiators team has changed ownership and they've gone to Gall Titans. ඒක තමයි latest update එක. Gall Gladiators team එක නෑ දැන්. ඒක වෙනස් කළා. අද තමයි ඒක update එක ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. They have changed that team to Gall Titans. මම දන්නේ දැන් කවුද ඕනර්ස්ලා change කරේ. අපි දන්නේ ඒ ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන්. හැබැයි name change එක ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. ඒක third name change එකක්. දැන් අපි දන්නවා Candy Falcons කණ්ඩායම last year ඒගොල්ලෝ change වුණා B Love Candy. B Love උයි මේ Colombo එකේ Colombo Stars to Colombo Strikers. The Strikers team, I think, franchise from Abu Dhabi T10 Strikers franchise. They only bought the Colombo team. ඒක තමයි update එකක් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. And let's talk about the pre-signed players now. That is the update that we have to give now. Next information. So let's go to that. Yes, sorry guys for starting late. ටුට්ටක් පරක් වුණා තමයි මං හිතන්නේ viewers ලා නැත්තේ හැබැයි කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ ඉතින් අපි යමු can't help on that okay all right let's go guys and let's talk about Colombo strikers first අපි ප්‍රථම කතා කරමු Colombo strikers then Babar Azam ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා පාකිස්තාන් කැප්ටන් පාකිස්තාන් නායක පාකිස්තාන් මේ number 1 2020 batter අංක එක පිටිකරු පාකිස්තානුයි ICC 2020 රැංකින් සුත් බලනකොට ටොප්ම රෑන්ක් බැටර් පාකිස්තාන් නායක බාබා ආසම් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා කොලම්බෝ ස්ට්‍රයිකර්ස් කණ්ඩායමට කොලම්බෝ ස්ට්‍රයිකර්ස් කණ්ඩායමට බාබා ආසම් ඉන්ක්ලූඩ් කරලා තියෙනවා මං හිතන්නේ 4 crores මං හිතන්නේ යාගේ salary එක මං හිතන්නේ ඒක තමයි latest update එක ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ so Baba Hassan has been taken by the Colombo strikers and they confirmed I mean he was posing with the owners team owners of the Colombo strikers saw a picture week ago ඉතින් මම ෂුවර් බාබා අසම් මේ පාර නම් එනවා LPL එකේ අපි දන්නවා ශ්‍රී ලංකා versus පාකිස්තාන් මේ බයිලැටරල් සීරීස් එකක් තියෙනවා ඒ ටෙස්ට් සීරීස් එකක් තියෙනවා ඉතින් ඒක අවසන් වුණාම තමයි LPL එක පටන් ගන්න. ඉතින් මේ පාකිස්තාන් ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා ඉතින් යන්නේ නැහැ කොහොමවත් මං හිතනවා ෂුවර් එකේම මම හිතනවා බාබා අසම් ගහවි LPL එකට ඒක තමයි සෝසස් තියෙන අපි දන්නවා මේ පාස්ට් ඒවා අපි දන්නවා ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා ගොඩක් overseas players-ලා withdraw කරා LPL එකේ. ඉතින් ඒක අපි දන්නවා හොඳට. ඉතින් අපි දන්නවා players like Chris Gale, Evan Lewis ඒ වගේ players-ලා මේ withdraw කරා මිස්සෙල්ලා. ඉතින් ඒ වගේ තත්ත්වයක් මං හිතන්නේ වෙනවා කියලා මේ LPL එකේ. මේ පාරත් මේ බෙන්දේසි ඔක්ෂනයක්කුත් තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මං හිතන්නේ මේ පාර නම් මේ players-ලා foreign players-ලා withdraw කරાવી මේ players අපි දන්නවා මේ පාර ජුලයි තමයි මේක වෙන්නේ LPL එක ජූලි 30 ඉඳන් අගෝස්තු 20 වෙනකන්. ඉතින් අපි දන්නවා දැන් මේ පාර 100 එක විතරයි 100 කම්පිටිෂන් එක විතරයි ක්ලෑෂ් වෙන්නේ LPL එකත් එක්ක. මේ කිසිම ටෝර්නමන්ට් එකක් ක්ලෑෂ් වෙන්නේ මං හිතන්නේ CPL එක පටන් ගන්න අගෝස්තු 25 August 25th CPL starts. so මම හිතන්නේ මේ teams මේවා ක්ලෑෂ් වේවි මං හිතන්නේ. ඉතින් මේ players-ලා show එකේ maybe. So talk about the Colombo strikers. They have got Matisha Patirana, who played for Chennai Super Kings in the IPL. We know how successful Matisha Patirana was in the IPL. ඉතින් අපි දන්නවා කොහොමද Matisha Patirana කරේ මේ IPL එකේ. ඉතින් ඒක වරදක්. ඉතින් මං හිතන්නේ ඒක හොඳ signing එකක්, pre-signing එකක්. අපි දන්නවා එයා අවුරුදු 20යි තාම. එයා හොඳට කරා, දශකම් කරා. IPL එකේ ඉතින් මේක හොඳ බෝනසයක් මං හිතන්නේ මේ වගේ ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා එනකොට නසීම් ෂා උත් ඉන්නවා පාකිස්තාන් වේග පන්දුවෙක් එයා හොඳට කරා පාකිස්තාන් කණ්ඩායමට 20 උයි ODI ක්‍රිකට් උත් බලනකොට නසීම් ෂා හොඳ ස්ටැට්ස් තියෙනවා මං හිතන්නේ අවුරුදු 22ක් 23ක් මං හිතන්නේ හැබැයි ප්‍රශ්නේ තියෙන්නේ නසීම් ෂාට එයාට 100 කොන්ට්‍රැක්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා 100 එක කම්පිටිෂන් එකේ එයාට ඒක කොන්ට්‍රැක්ට් එක තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක තමයි තත්ත්වය වෙලා තියෙන්නේ නසීම් ෂාට. උයි චාමික කරුණරත්නොත් ඉන්නවා. චාමික අපි දන්නවා හොඳ 20 ප්ලේයර් කෙනෙක්. මෙයා හොඳ all round එකෙක් තුන් ඊර පන්දුවෙක් මේ ක්‍රිකට් කෙනෙක් all rounder කෙනෙක්. ඉතින් එයාත් ඉන්නවා Colombo strikers. ඉතින් 4 players are there in the Colombo strikers who are pre-signed. අමතක වුණා මේ each team මේගොල්ලන්ට 1 RTM එකක් use කරන්න පුළුවන් මේ previous LPL එකේ edition එකේ මේ team players ලා එක්කෙනෙක් ගන්න පුළුවන් 1 RTM එකක් තියෙනවා මේ ඔක්කොම teams පහම. ඉතින් Colombo strikers බලනකොට බාබා අසම් මතීෂ පතිරණ නසීම් ෂා උයි චාමික කරුණරත්න ඉන්නවා Colombo strikers කණ්ඩායමේ. all right so let's go to the next team and that is the Jaffna Kings. 3-time champions, defending champions, and very successful franchise. They are the only team who has won LPL so far, and this is the 4th edition, and they won it a hat-trick times. I don't think any other team has done that. But අපි කතා කරමු Jaffna Kings ගැන. David Miller ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා Jaffna Kings කණ්ඩායම. ඉතින් අපි දන්නවා කොහොමද David Miller යා ගුජරාත් ටයිටන්ස් ගහනවා IPL එකේ එයා විශිෂ්ට පිතිකරුවෙක්. නම්බර 5-6 ගහනවා දකුණු ඇෆ්‍රිකාවලට දැන් මේ එයා IPL එකෙත් ගහනවා PSL එකකුත් ගැව්වා දැන් එයා ඇවිල්ලා තිනවා LPL එකට මේ පාර ෂූ එකේම අපි දන්න ඩේවිඩ් මිලර් ගහවි LPL එක sign කරලා නැහැ contract එකක් and South Africa don't play any games I think during the July of August window so for sure 100% I can tell David Miller is coming to the LPL this time and he's going to play for Jaffna Kings and I don't think a player like David Miller will withdraw from the Lanka Premier League අපි දන්නවා තිසර පෙරේරා රිටේන් කරලා තියෙනවා ජැෆ්නා කිංස් for the fourth season in a row තිසර පෙරේරා නායක ජැෆ්නා කිංස් 3-time winning captain for ජැෆ්නා කිංස් තිසර පෙරේරාත් ඉන්නවා මේ පාරත් මේ ජැෆ්නා කිංස් මට අමතක වුණා දැන් මේ පාර මේ ප්ලේයර්ස්ලා අවුරුදු 3ක් රිටේන් කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ කොන්ට්‍රැක්ට් දුන්නම දැන් ඔක්ෂන් එකෙත් අවුරුදු 3ක් මේ කොන්ට්‍රැක්ට් එක තියෙනවා ඉතින් මේගොල්ලන් ෆ්‍රැන්චයිස් එක තමයි කන්ට්‍රෝල් කරන්නේ මේගොල්ලෝ හොඳට දශකම් කරොත් ඒගොල්ලෝ රිටේන් වේවි ඊළඟ සීසන් එකේ අදර්වයිස් මේගොල්ලෝ රිලීස් කරાવી ආයෙත් මිනි ඔක්ෂන් එකක් මේ පාර බිග් මේන් ඔක්ෂන් එකක් මේ පාර තියෙනවා උයි මට අමතක වුණා නෙක්ස්ට් සීසන් එකට 6 ටීම් එකක් ඇඩ් වෙනවා 6 ටීම් වෙනම එකක් ඇඩ් වෙනවා නෙක්ස්ට් ඉයර් ඉතින් ඒකත් හොඳ නිවුස් එකක් මං හිතන්නේ ලංකා ප්‍රීමියර් ලීග් දැන් ෆෑන්ස්ලා උයි විදේශියෝ foreigners ලටත් මේක හොඳ තත්වයක් මං හිතන්නේ 6 ටීම් එකක් ඇඩ් වෙනවා all right coming back to topic second overseas player we see Ramanullah Gurbas being picked by the Jaffna Kings මං හිතන්නේ ඒක හොඳ signing එකක් Ramanullah Gurbas ගහලා තිනවා seasons තුනක් මං හිතන්නේ one season with the Candy Tuskers in the first season and then the next two seasons with the Jaffna Kings එයාත් ගැව්වේ Gujarat Titans එකට sorry Kolkata Knight Riders මේ පාර මේ IPL එකට Ramanullah Gurbas එයාත් මං හිතන්නේ මේ matches ගොඩක් ගැව්වා KKR වලට ඉතින් ඒක හොඳ සයිනින් එකක් මං හිතනවා එයා සීසන්ස් දෙකක්කුත් ගහලා තියෙනවා ජැෆ්නා ෆ්‍රැන්චයිස් එකට ඉතින් මං හිතන්නේ ඒක හොඳ තත්ත්වයක් ඒ මහිෂ් තීක්ෂණ එයාත් ඉඳලා තියෙනවා from season 1 to season 4 with the Jaffna Kings ඉතින් ඒක හොඳ තත්ත්වයක් මං හිතන්නේ මේ මහිෂ් තීක්ෂණත් ඉන්නවා මං හිතන්නේ මේ ගහනවා LPL එකේ ඉතින් ඒකත් හොඳ තත්ත්වයක් මං හිතනවා මේ පාරත් all right so that is discussed about Jaffna Kings. So let's go to the next player. Okay, before we are going to the next team, we have a comment coming in. Urmila Marshi says hi. Okay, hi Komada, how are you doing? Thank you for finding our channel. You can ask us questions. All right, next, and let's go to this. Wanidu Hasaranga in Be Love Candy. So එයා තමයි නායක දැන් Be Love Candy එකේ දැන් ඒක change කරලා තියෙනවා franchise name එක from to Be Love Candy ඒක තමයි දැන් new franchise name එකක් ගහලා තියෙනවා Be Love Candy අපි දන්නවා මිස් ඔමාර් ખાන් පාකිස්තාන ඕන එකක් තමයි ක්‍රිප්ටෝ කම්පැනි එකක් තමයි මේ Candy franchise එක වෙන්දේසි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා last season LPL එකේ Candy Falcons තමයි මේ ownership ගත්තේ we Falcons අපි දන්නවා Abu Dhabi T10 එකේ ඒගොල්ලෝ team එකක් වෙන්දේසි I mean they are owning a team in the T10 ඉතින් මේ පාර දැන් Be Love Candy එකේ තමයි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේක කියලා තියෙන Candy Falcons මේ ලිස්ට් එකේ හැබැයි මේක Be Love Candy තමයි වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඒ කණ්ඩායමේ බනිදු අසරංග තමයි නායක අපි දන්නවා බනිදු අසරංග තුන් all rounder කෙනෙක් හොඳට දෂ්කම් කරනවා බෝලින් පිටිකරුවෙන් ඔක්කොම කරනවා වනිදු අසරංග අපි දන්නවා last time Candy Falcons මේ playoffs එක ගත්තා semi මේ qualifier 2 එක වෙනකන් මේ Candy Falcons ගියා හැබැයි මේ පාර ඇන්ජලෝ මැතිව්ස් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා Be Love Candy franchise එකේ ඇන්ජලෝ මැතිව්ස් අපි දන්නවා 3 previous seasons Colombo franchise එකේ හිටියේ Colombo Stars උයි Colombo Kings මේ පාර ඇන්ජලෝ මැතිව්ස් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා Be Love Candy franchise එකේ pre signing එකක් වෙලා තියෙනවා ඇන්ජලෝ මැතිව්ස් අපි දන්නවා ඇන්ජලෝ මැතිව්ස් කොච්චර experience ගේනවා කියලා මේ Candy franchise එකට ඉතින් මේ පාර ඇන්ජලෝ මැතිව්ස් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා මේ Candy franchise එකට foreign players බලනකොට ෆකර් සමාන් අපි දන්නවා පාකිස්තාන ඕපනර් ෆකර් සමාන් අපි දන්නවා 200ක් දෙකක් තියෙනවා ODI ක්‍රිකට් වල 2020 ක්‍රිකට් උත් දශකම් කරලා තියෙනවා ෆකර් සමාන් ඉතින් මේ පාර එයා ඉන්නවා LPL එකේ Candy Be Love Candy franchise එකේ ෆකර් සමාන් මේ පාර ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා මේ කණ්ඩායමට උයි මුජිබල් රාමන් තමයි international icon player වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මුජිබල් රාමන් second leading spinner of Afghanistan after Rashid Khan හැබැයි මේ පාර IPL එකේ ගැව්වේ නෑ රාශිකානුයි නූර් අහමද් තමයි මේ ලීඩින් ස්පිනර්ස් වුණේ මේ ගුජරාත් ටයිටන්ස් එකේ. මුජිබල් රාමන් මේ IPL කොන්ට්‍රැක්ට් එකක් තිබ්බේ නැහැ. ඉතින් මේ පාර මුජිබල් රාමන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා B Love කැන්ඩි ෆ්‍රැන්චයිස් එකේ. එයා ඉන්ටර්නැෂනල් අයිකෝන් ප්ලේයර් මුජිබල් රාමන් මේ පාර එන්නේ. All right, let's go to the next franchise and that is Damulora. ඒකේ වෙනස්කම් නෑ, name change එකේ මුකුත් නෑ. මේ පාර Damulora මයි තියෙන්නේ. මේ පාර Matthew Wade අපි දන්නවා ඔස්ට්‍රේලියානු විකට් කීපර් Matthew Wade 3 sixers ගැව්වා ෂයින් ෂා අෆ්‍රීඩි එකට 3 sixers in a row ගැව්වා මේ මැච් එක දින්න. Matthew Wade මේ පාර Damulora එකේ international icon player වෙලා තියෙනවා Matthew Wade. ඉතින් ඒක big signing එකක් මම හිතනවා මේ Damulora කණ්ඩායමට. ඉතින් මේ වගේ ක්‍රීඩකයෝ මැතිව් වේඩ් වගේ ඔස්ට්‍රේලියන් ක්‍රිකටර්ස්ලා අරගෙන ඒක තමයි බිග් බෝනස්. and මේ පාරක් කට්ටිය දසුන් ශානක නෑ දඹුල්ලර් කණ්ඩායමේ. අපි දන්නවා දසුන් ශානක හිටියේ 3 previous seasons දඹුල්ල ඕරා එකේ උයි දඹුල්ල වයිකින්ස් හරි ටීම් එකේ හිටියේ. මේ පාර දසුන් ශානක from දඹුල්ල franchise ගෝල් franchise එකට ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා ගෝල් ටයිටන්ස් කණ්ඩායමට ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා දසුන් ශානක මේ පාර. ඉතින් ඒක තමයි තවත් අත්බෙට්. උයි බානුක රාජපක්ෂත් ලාස්ට් ඉයර් හිටියේ දඹුල්ල ෆ්‍රැන්චයිස් එකේ. මේ පාර ගිහලා තියෙනවා ගෝල් ටයිටන්ස් කණ්ඩායමට. ඒක තමයි රිමයින්ඩ් කරන්න ඕන කට්ටියට. ගෝල් කණ්ඩායමට ගිහලා තියෙනවා දෙන්නම දසුන් ශානක උයි බානුක රාජපක්ෂ. මේ පාර කුසල් මෙන්ඩිස් සිටියේ ගෝල් ග්ලැඩියේටර්ස් එකේ ලාස්ට් සීසන්. එයා ගිහලා තියෙනවා දඹුල්ල ඕරා කණ්ඩායමට. කුසල් මෙන්ඩිස් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා. අවිෂ්ක ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝත් ලීව් කරලා තියෙනවා ජැෆ්නා කිංස් කණ්ඩායම. එයාත් ප්‍රීසයින් කරලා තියෙනවා දම්බුලෝරා කණ්ඩායම. එයාවත් ප්‍රීසයින්. අපි දන්නවා අවිෂ්ක ෆර්නෑන්ඩෝ 2 seasons he has been the highest run scorer for in the LPL, and for the Jaffna Kings also he was very successful. This time he's gone to the Dambulora team. And Lungi Ningidi අපි දන්නවා IPL එකේ contract එකක් තියෙනවා, PSL contract එක, fast South African fast bowler වේගපන්දු ලුංගි නිංගිඩි ප්‍රීසයින් කරලා තියෙනවා දඹුලෝරා කණ්ඩායම මේ පාර. අපි දන්නවා South Africa players ලා මේ පාර මේවා නෑ මේ matches නෑ. ජුලයි ආගස්ට් window එකේ matches මුකුත් නෑ South African players. ඉතින් මේ පාර show එකේම South African players ගහනවා මේ පාර. And last team to discuss guys before we bring our guest, and I'll tell my guest to come. And I think we discuss all teams. Oh sorry, we didn't discuss goal. ඉතින් මේ ගෝල් කණ්ඩායම sorry just give me a second මේකයි ස්ටක් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. okay ගෝල් කතා කරනකොට මේ give me a second just give me a second මොකද උනේ මේක respond වෙන්නේ sorry හරි ආයිත් respond වෙනවා. ගෝල් කතා කරමුකොට මේ පාර අද තමයි අපිට ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් එක හම්බුනේ. අද ගෝල් ටයිටන්ස් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ කණ්ඩායම. ගෝල් ටයිටන්ස් එකේ බංග්ලාදේශ් all-rounder Shakib Al Hasan ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා මේ ගෝල් ටයිටන්ස් කණ්ඩායමට. I mean it's a big signing, international icon player. Shakib Al Hasan was signed by Kolkata Knight Riders before the IPL 2023. He didn't play IPL 2023 due to personal reasons, but he's surely going to play the Lanka Premier League 2023. I hope he doesn't withdraw. Shakib Al Hasan has joined the Gol Titans, and along with him we have Dasun Shanaka, Banuka Rajapaksha and Tabraiz Shamsi, South African leg spinner. Previously was the number 1 2020 bowler in the world. Tabraiz Shamsi has been signed by Gol Titans, and the Sri Lanka 2020 captain Dasun Shanaka is also with the Gol Titans this time. I think එක හොඳ නිවුස් එකක් මම හිතනවා Gol Titans එකේ දසුන් ශානක, බානුක රාජපක්ෂ, තබ්රේස් ශම්සි and Shakib Al Hasan. බංග්ලාදේශ අපි දන්නවා කොච්චර බංග්ලාදේශ ක්‍රිකට් දියුණු කර ක්‍රිකටර් කෙනෙක්. Shakib Al Hasan කියන්නේ icon player කෙනෙක්. මේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා sorry බංග්ලාදේශ වලට. ඉතින් ඒක හොඳ බූස්ට් එකක් මම හිතනවා මේ බංග්ලාදේශ කණ්ඩායමට. ඉතින් ඕක තමයි තත්ත්ව වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒක හොඳ බලන්නේ මම හිතන්නේ මේ මෙයා හිටියේ මේ පාර. yeah just give me a second. yeah ඉතින් ඒක තමයි තත්ත්ව වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ ගෝල් ටයිටන්ස්. දැන් මේ කණ්ඩායම ගෝල් ග්ලැඩියේටර්ස් නෙමෙයි දැන් මේ LPL team එක දැන් Gol Titans වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Another update guys, tomorrow 2:15 we are coming on the sports breakdown 3 p.m. to whatever time we are covering until the LPL auctions finishes. We are going to cover the Lanka Premier League auctions in both English and Sinhala, main in Sinhala because this is a Sri Lankan YouTube channel, so we'll cover for the Sri Lankans tomorrow. I think ඒක තමයි තත්ත්වය වෙන්නේ. ඉතින් we'll update everything. So yeah, so that is the list over there from the Lanka. We'll be getting a guest from Bangladesh joining us soon, so we'll discuss like about Shakib Al Hassan and the rest of the players. And anyone else wants to join, here's the link. Now I've sent the link, so guests can come and join now and discuss about the LPL 2023 and all. So I'll just wait until the guest joins. So I think that is the update over there. So good to see. I think especially Baba Azam wage क्रीडकयो, Nasim Shah, Matthew Wade, Shakib Al Hassan, David Miller, Mujibur Rahman, Ramanullah Gurbas, Bangladesh, Afghanistan. I don't know how many good players are here in LPL, and I don't think they'll withdraw. මේ පාර නම් මං හිතන්නේ මේගොල්ලෝ withdraw කරાવી කියලා. මේ පාර massive ටෝනමන්ට් එකක් වෙන්නේ. මම දන්නවා දවස් 22යි විතරයි මේ LPL ටෝනමන්ට් එකක් තියෙන්නේ. හැබැයි මේ පාර හොඳ quality ටෝනමන්ට් එකක්. මේ පාර players ලා ඔක්කොම හොඳම කට්ටිය තමයි අරගෙන තියෙන්නේ මේ පාර LPL එකේ. All right, and before the guests come, guys, want to discuss on something else also, guys. Suresh Raina, අපි දන්නවා Suresh Raina or Chinna Talla has come to has joined the LPL auctions. So ඒක හොඳ තත්වයක්, and his purse is actually he's in the auction list, Chinna Talla, or I mean Suresh Raina, and his purse is actually, it starts from 50,000 USD. His starting bid starts from 50,000 USD. thing ඒක හොඳ තත්වයක් මං හිතනවා. මේ පාර I mean we are getting players like Suresh Raina who can do something for the LPL. ඉතින් ඒක හොඳ තත්වයක් මං හිතන්නේ. මේ Suresh Raina අපි දන්නවා, he's called like Mr. IPL. එයා IPL succeed කරලා තිනවා Indian Premier League එක. මං හිතන්නේ ලකුණු මං හිතන්නේ 6000ක් වගේ ගහලා තිනවා. he's the third highest or fourth highest run scorer in the IPL. ඉතින් මේ වගේ ක්‍රීඩකයෝ ගන්න මං දන්නවා එයා retired, Suresh Raina, but still he's a very prominent figure. I mean he can do great. Okay, we have got our guest joining us. So we have Mahir all the way from Bangladesh joining us. So yes, we will be discussing about the Bangladesh players. Okay, first of all, Mahir, how are you doing?
Hello, brother. How are you?
I'm doing good. Yes. All right. So Mahir, so we'll discuss about the Bangladesh players and all. And thank you so much once again for joining this discussion. It will be great having you. So Mahir, first of all, we've got news that Shakib Al Hassan is in the Goa Gladiators. So now they've changed it to Goa Titans for some reason today. I think the ownership has changed or something, so that's not good news. But anyways, I think the players will remain the same. But Shakib Al Hassan joining the Goa franchise. Can we see Shakib this time in goal? Because we know like previous like in IPL other franchises, other franchise leagues, like Shakib hasn't participated due to personal problems, or even for Bangladesh also he's had his problems. So can we really see Shakib Hassan in the LPL this time, like according to close sources or whatever?
Surely, Pawan. As you can see, if you see Bangladesh team's Future 2 program during the Lanka Premier League time, we don't have any international commitments or anything else. So this year's Lanka Premier League and the CPL also, our
Yeah,
players are eagerly waiting to play, and a lot of this is maybe the first time where Bangladeshi players has registered the
most.
the most numbers of Bangladeshi players has registered in any league this time.
Yeah, yes, I agree. But I think Shakib will be a big boost, I think, for the golf franchise. I think his experience, I think it doesn't count. I mean, the amount of wickets he's taken, the amount of runs. I mean, he's a classic 2020 player. So, your thoughts what Shakib can do to the golf franchise, especially he's going to work under Dasun Shanaka most likely, because Shanaka will be captain of the golf franchise. So, what sort of experience like can Shakib bring to this golf franchise?
Certainly, and yeah, it will be, this year will be a special year for Shakib, because as you have followed the PSL as well, where Shakib was led by Babar Azam, one of the finalists of Asia Cup, and
Yeah.
it will be so much very much nice to see Shakib, play under Asia Cup winning captain. So definitely looking forward, and I think Sakib will definitely help Shanaka to lead the title for golf.
Agree. And let's talk about the other Bangladesh players also. Mahir, I mean, Tamim Iqbal, Mushfiqur Rahim, those sort of players. Mustafizur Rahman also, I think, has registered. Afif Hussein also. So Mehdi Hassan Miraz also has registered as well. So your thoughts about these players and how they will also make an impact in LPL? Do you expect most of these Bangladesh players to get selected for the LPL? Because I mean, six overseas players per team. So only four, I think, overseas players that each franchise can buy now. So your thoughts, especially of the news that you got, like certain, I mean, Bangladesh players there. I mean, especially Tamim Iqbal, I think, is in the first list of categories. I think amongst, I mean, the overseas players. And as we see here, I think Tamim Iqbal is in the first category. So your thoughts, Mahir, towards that?
Pawan, if you have seen the COVID during the COVID time, even 2021, I think, uh, maybe at the middle of 2021, there was a show of Russell Arnold, and there was Tamim Iqbal as the guest of that show. There,
Yeah,
a lot of Sri Lankan supporters wanted Tamim to play the Lanka Premier League, and Tamim
yeah,
himself promised that if he has free time, definitely he will join to play in the Lanka League. And then if you see the Sri Lankan supporters, yeah, like if I can hear from them many times that the only Bangladeshi player they like and they love, they respect is that Tamim Iqbal because of his humbleness and the respect he always shows to Sri Lanka. I can see like the most number of supporters from Sri Lanka, like they like the Bangladeshi cricketers the most is like Tamim.
yeah. I agree. Also, we've got the news like Mushfiqur Rahim, Liton Das, Mahmudullah, Mohammad Mithun, Taskin Ahmed, Mehdi Hassan Miraz. So, which players do you think like will be like sold amongst this list? Because there's so many Bangladesh players who have registered for the LPL this time. I think more than I don't know, more than any other country. I would think like Bangladesh players have registered this time.
Yeah, surely, because this is the only league I think uh, Lanka League in back in 2012 it was called SLPL. I remember that time
Yes.
even also six or seven Bangladeshi players got to play that time, and this is the
Yeah.
2020, like this is one of the special years of us. In terms of international cricket is concerned, we want to
Mm.
perform this year very well, and Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
One more reason for Bangladeshi player registering in Sri Lankan in Lanka Premier League is that a lot of coaches, ex coaches of Bangladesh or batting coaches, under 19 coaches of Sri Lanka of Bangladesh earlier has been from Sri Lanka. So
Yeah.
they are more aware of Bangladeshi players. But in leagues
Yes.
like PSL, IPL, they will be the other those type of international coaches from India and Australia and all those. They don't know the real
Mm.
hidden talent or the talent of the Bangladeshi players. Maybe so.
Yeah.
Maybe the communication, the earlier working for the coaches of Sri Lanka in Bangladesh. So this kind of
Yeah.
things can maybe help them to give their name in the league, I think.
Mm, agree. I think especially Liton Das is very impressed. I mean, I know he got signed by KKR, but only managed to play one match, I think, due to like national commitments. So I hope he plays. But thoughts on these young players this time? I mean, Najmul Hussain Shanto, Ibahut Hussain, I think Thawad Hirodi also there. I think certain players, Musadik Hussain as well, Saifuddin. These sort of players, how can they contribute? I mean, these young players, I think, have some promise. I think can could do really well. Noor Hassan as well. So your thoughts among these players as well?
Definitely, like if I can see Sabir Rahman, Sri Lankan fans can remember 2016 Asia Cup when Bangladesh was falling for two runs for two wickets, and then Shabir played a brilliant 80 runs knock, which helped
Yeah.
Bangladesh to win that match back in 2016 against Sri Lanka.
Yes.
So Sabir has
Yeah.
definitely some good memories with Sri Lanka, even in 2019 when he played the last time one day international for Bangladesh. It was in Sri
Yeah.
Lanka when he got a couple of half centuries, and he loves to play in Sri Lanka. He has good records with Sri Lanka, and
Mm.
earlier coaches from Sri Lanka loves him. And then I can see Imrul Kais, he's a veteran. He used to be a regular opener alongside Tamim Iqbal. Shommo Sarkar
Yeah.
also played a lot in with the Sri Lankan coaches. A lot of coaches may know him. And then Mossadegh Hussain is another player who can give you like a complete package, with the bat, with the ball, with the field.
Yes.
I can see Rubel Hussain, throughout the Nidas Trophy, apart from that last over of Dinesh Karthik, he
Mm.
had a brilliant Nidas Trophy, but
Agree.
that was bad luck for Rubel. Dinesh Karthik was good so much, but yeah, Rubel also has good experience to play in Sri Lanka. So I
Yeah.
can see a lot of. I hope a lot of Bangladeshi players get picked tomorrow. And you have
Yeah.
mentioned that it's not a draft; it will be an auction. So I'm
Auction.
looking forward to it. Like how much prize our players get.
Yeah, so I think base price I think starts from 10,000 to 60,000. So probably these players I think will start from like 40,000 or 50,000 USD. I think like the prominent overseas players will go for starting base price will be 50,000 USD, and then the others will be 40,000 and below. So that's the news. Just got update that the Gaul Titans team has been bought by a Sri Lankan owner, so that will be interesting, and it will be led by Dasun Shanaka. So that's the news over there. So Shakib will have to. It will be good to see Shakib and Dasun Shanaka together, and it's going to be interesting. Banuko is also in that team, so I hope like many players will go to Gaul, because I mean the Bangladesh players, because Shakib is there. So I think that will be also a boost for certain Bangladesh players.
Definitely, and if you can see historically, also Gaul has given us some good memories. The first double centurion from Bangladesh was from that was happened in Gaul Stadium by Mushfiqur Rahim, and then Mohammad Ashraful also in that match got 190. Historically, we have a lot of memories in the Gaul. And then if I talk about Dasun Shanaka, if I talk about Bhanuka Rajapaksha, if you can
Mm.
see their first time exposure in any foreign leagues, it is BPL. After that Pakistan series, yeah, where Sri Lankan young team won 3-0. Shanaka was given the captaincy to the Kumilla team, that time in 2019-20, and then Bhanuga was also part of that team,
Yeah.
and that team's director was the current selector of Bangladesh national team. So definitely, it's not a kind of we are not sad that Sakib will have to play against under Shanaka, even though Sakib is a senior player. But it's like I think Sakib can also learn a lot from Shanaka, because he has a Asia Cup win under his cabinet. And definitely it's not a bad thing to have. Like Shakib can give more what is that called, his experience to Shanaka, and Shanaka will be more aware to deal with the local Sri Lankan players, local talent, in terms of communication, if I say.
Mm. Agree. We got a comment over here, and we know like the only Indian player here, Suresh Raina, has bidded this time. I mean, has asked for a base price of 50,000. Sportbit is asking, is Raina getting sold? If yes, then which team do you want to see him this season? Good question over here. I mean, Colombo strikers, I think they have Baba Azam. I think that team probably could be a boost. Jaffna Kings, I think. I would like to see Raina in Jaffna Kings, because we know, I mean, Hemang Badan is there in Jaffna Kings, and I think he's a mentor. So he's also Indian. So I think like Jaffna Kings would suit a player like Suresh Raina, in my opinion, or even Colombo strikers and the Baba Azam perhaps could be also a good choice. But Mahir, your thoughts on Suresh Raina? Do you think he'll get sold for in a LPL team?
Definitely, like so players like, if I remember, Irfan Pathan got to play in LPL in 2020, but
Yeah.
Raina recently retired. It's quite unfortunate. If I say that Raina was not given a proper farewell by the CSK management. So
Yeah.
I'm eagerly waiting to see Suresh Raina to get pick in any of the team. Like I don't mind him picking in any of the team, and I think he will be sold in a very good price. I hope that he will be sold in a very good price. And a lot of Raina fans, a lot of Indian fans will get to it will attract
Mm.
more Indian fans to watch the league, I think.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So let's go to the auction list. So as we saw here, I think in the first, so we have Dhananjay De Silva, Pathum Nisanka, Asalanka, Najibullah Zadran, Paul Sterling, Tamin Iqbal, Chris Ling, Sikuge Prasanna, Isuru Dana, Carlos Brathwaite, Iman Wasim, Shoaib Malik, Sikandar Raza. All right, let's discuss about this batch, especially Mahir, especially Sikandar Raza. Let's talk about him because I think he is a player in demand right now. He played like in the IPL for Punjab Kings. I think today he scored 100 or something in the qualifiers match. He
Wow.
played last season for Damula as well. How big of a demand will Sikandar Asa be this time amongst like 8 LPL teams and like in franchise leagues overall? I mean, he's been a key figure in a lot of franchise leagues right now. PSL he performed. I'm not sure whether he came to BPL. I'm not sure about that.
He
I'm
played
not
just
sure, but
few matches he played.
yeah. But your thoughts about Sikandar Asa?
uh, to be honest, it gives us as a Bangladeshi supporter, it gives us a lot of proud moment for us because to see Sikandar Raza growing like this. Because I remember even last year also, maybe previous year he had some operation and he was a bit of out of cricket, and then he played a regional cricket tournament in Bangladesh. That was like in a small town there was a league in Rajshahi called as Rajshahi Premier League (RPL), where he played, and from that league he got to rise and then got some confidence from that, and then he never looked back. He started performing in international cricket, got to the leagues, got to perform there, and then today we know Sikandar Raza, even he's so busy that he don't get time to play in BPL. and
Yeah,
then and then if I talk in point of Sri Lankan fans, I would love to see Sikandar Raza play alongside Dasun Shanaka, his best friend, I think, one of
yeah,
the close friend of him. So I would like to see Dasun Shanaka as well as Sikandar Raza and Bhanuka Rajapaksa, the Punjab Kings mates
yes.
together, would also be make interesting towards the IPL fans also.
Hmm, I agree with you. Also, Mahir, coming to you, Shoaib Malik. I think he's another key figure. I think in LPL franchises, we know PSL also he's been performing. I mean, still he's a key figure for Karachi Kings and all the franchises there. Shoaib Malik has been in Jaffna franchise for 3 seasons. This time he's in the auction list. They didn't retain him as a I mean, pre-signing. They didn't take him as a pre-signing, but how big of a player Shoaib Malik can contribute because his experience, I think he's second or third highest run scorer in 2020 cricket, like including franchise. So, your thoughts?
Shoaib Malik, first and foremost, I will say that he's a legend. If I talk about the T20 leagues all around the world, the way he performed, I think I'm not wrong that he has 10,000 plus T20 runs, right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
So definitely, it's quite surprising to see that Shoaib Malik not been retained by Jaffna, but I think it may be because of his age
Mm,
that might not risk it out for Jaffna to retain him, and maybe they have some planning regarding their budget to buy some particular players. So they may have made some budget to buy Shoaib Malik. Like they will buy in the auction Shoaib Malik, but in a limited amount, not by retaining him.
yeah. Mm, yes, that is true. So I think yeah, let's go in this list as well. Dunit is the Azam Khan as well. I think Chris Lynn, that's an interesting name over there. Mahit, Chris Lynn has performed really well. BBL, I think Brisbane Heat highest run scorer. IPL also, we've seen him performing for like KKR. He was with Mumbai Indians also, I think, for one season. So player like Chris Lynn also coming. I know sort of now he's gone off the radar, but still I think Chris Lynn can do a few damages in franchise cricket still. So your thoughts on Chris Lynn?
Pawan, let me first get clarify from you is that during this June July month, if the LPL is taking place in July August,
Yeah.
how will be the pitches behaving? Will it be like flat padding tracks?
I mean, usually I think in July, August, I think mainly it's like spin friendly only. I mean, usually, yeah, but it could be like batting friendly mainly. I mean, it's only in Colombo and Kandy this time. So actually, last time they had it in Hambantota, but this time they've only restricted two venues. So that's only going to be Colombo and Kandy. So first leg, I think, is going to be in Colombo first 5 days, and then they're going to Kandy, I think, for the second leg, and then coming back to Colombo. Like the finals and all will happen in Colombo. So that's how like the LPL is going since it's only for 22 days this time. They've shortened it a bit because of this Sri Lanka versus Pakistan bilateral series. So I think from next year onwards, they're going to expand the LPL to 1 month or something. Only for this year, only it's like restricted to 22 days. So because of this bilateral series and Asia Cup and the ODI World Cup all happening, those are the reasons why it's restricted to 22 days. So then that's why I think it's restricted to two venues. Otherwise, I think from next season, I think they're going to expand it to 4 or 5 venues. I think because there's an additional team also coming up. I think in the next season.
Yeah, definitely. And if as you have talked about Chris Lynn, I was asking, the thing is that definitely the five teams management should look that what will be the pitches behaving. If it is like in the slower side and batsman needs time to settle it down, so I
Mm,
think buying Chris Lynn won't be a better option, because in BBL he gets those type of pitches where now balls are coming into the bat and the boundary line is very much small, and then like they are hitting, like it's like
mm,
belter for the batsman. So
yeah.
it won't be an ideal thing. Like attractive wise, it might be that you are buying Chris Lynn, but he might, not able to deliver like the
Mm.
performance you would expect from him. So I will not want players like Chris Lynn to get picked in LPL, to
Yeah.
be honest.
I think in Pallakali, I think Candy it's like very pace friendly. So I think pace bowlers will do really well. In Candy generally, I think it's not that much spin friendly in Pallakali, but could change. I think curators at recent times have seen spinners also doing well in Pallakali, and then I think Pallakali is a very batting friendly pitch also, because we've seen Pakistan and all back then they scored so many runs like in Test cricket, ODI cricket, and also in the past. So I think Palakale very very batting friendly, but Colombo I think it's like a balance between bowling batting. I think it depends on how the pitch behaves on that day. So, but Candy I think very very batting friendly pitch and suits for the fast bowlers as well. Not much for the spinners in the recent times that I've seen, but in Colombo it's very we cannot depict, like it depends on the conditions and on the day. But coming back to you, Mahir, I'm very surprised to see Dushman the Chamira not being retained by any team. Seeing I know it's because of injury, like no team I think retained Dushman the Chamira, because this guy I think last year I think was in the IPL also for Lucknow Super Giants wasn't retained, and then he got injured, and now again he's performing well in the 50. I mean the against Afghanistan recently in the ODI series he did well. 2020 also we know he's a specialist bowler, he can do well. We saw last time, but Chamira not being picked ahead of Chamik or certain players. I think I was a bit surprised that Chamira is in this auction list this time around.
Definitely, Dushman Shamira, the way last year, especially he was playing, in IPL, he was getting chance in every matches, if I am not wrong. And
Yeah,
Chamira, even in the last series, if I see against Afghanistan, in the last match, probably he took 5 wickets, right?
yeah, yes,
So I think Dushman to Chamina, if I would say in limited overs wise, he is the best pacers currently in Sri Lankan team. I feel
mm,
so. Maybe I think LPL, what is the committee or the teams might want to take him in a higher price, because the auction thing is there. So definitely, I
yeah,
think Chamira can be one of the most expensive players to
yeah.
be sold. Yes, tomorrow, I think.
Mm. Yes, I agree with you that completely on Chamira's inclusion. Also, seeing in this list, I think we have Jason Berendoff over here. Also, very interesting name here. I think he did well for Mumbai Indians. He got recent. I mean, he played I think almost all the matches also. So interesting to see Jason Berendoff here also in the list. I hope he gets sold by a big price. Your thoughts, Mahir, on Jason Berendoff, because he can really be little on these pitches, especially in Candy. I think he could do something, especially his variation. I mean, his left arm pace as well. He could definitely do something for any franchise team.
Jason Bendroff, I think he is a kind of medium pacer, and in these
Yeah,
subcontinental tracks, even Australia, it's a very clever move from him. Giving name in LPL, because if you see in the current Aussie team, there are a lot of competitions, and maybe he is, wanting to grab the attention of Aussie selector for the 2023 World Cup. If I'm not wrong, last ODI World Cup also he was picked in. He was in the World Cup squad, and he in the Amazon series I saw like how Jason Bendroff was brought in the England game in order to remove Jason Roy. So
mm,
definitely, I think so Jason Bendroff's main thing for giving name is that the 2023 World Cup, as it is happening in Asia, and I think he will definitely get sold tomorrow, and I would like to see like him also getting in a higher price, because left arm pacers nowadays, the demand in the world cricket.
Mm, I agree with you, definitely. Yeah, so I think certain players over here, Fazal Haq Faruqi was one player. I think he played for SRH this season in IPL, and then did quite well in Sri Lankan pitches. I think Mahir, I think he's a player also to watch out for. I think Fazal Haq Faruqi, the way that he's been performing recently. Your thoughts? Because Afghanistan faced Sri Lanka recently in two ODI series, and he did quite well when needed also. So, and in 2020 also he's a bowler that could cause problems to teams. So, your thoughts on Fazal Haq Faruqi?
I would say like this guy is a very dangerous customer, and he can yeah, swing the ball in both ways. Yeah, like, so I think he's a very good new bowler, new ball bowler, as well as he has some quite of varieties in the death also. So definitely he will be
Yeah,
also one of the players to look for to in the tomorrow's auction, and maybe he also will get maybe I have a gut feeling that he also have a chance to get picked, because the current performances he made against Sri Lankan team, that might have grabbed some attention for the coaches of the LPL teams, because here and there maybe they are linked with Sri Lankan cricket, the coaches of the LPL team. So he will have that attention tomorrow in the auctions.
very true. Yes. All right, so let's go to the spin department over here. We see Imran Tahir over here. It's good news to see Imran Tahir and Ish Sodhi over here in this list as well. Imran Tahir, a veteran, he was played, I think, in a previous season of LPL, and then we see Ish Sodhi as well, New Zealand number one 2020 bowler. Doesn't play much in franchise cricket. He did play for Rajasthan Royals, I think, one season, but still didn't take part that much. But your thoughts on Imran Tahir and Isoli, both of them prominent spinners over here?
Uh, to be honest, Imran Tahir, if he gets picked, I won't say that he will do poor performance. Definitely, he was at his time the one of the best spinners, one of the best leg spinners. I would say the best leg spinner at his time. But the thing is that
Yeah,
everything has an expiry date. So I would not want him to play right now at this age. So rather, I would prefer a bowler like Ish Sodhi. Even if I can see in the screen Mitchell Swepson, Zahir Khan. Zahir
yeah,
Khan is a like left arm Chinaman. I know him. Like he will be playing
yeah.
tomorrow's Test match against us. So I'm quite
Mm,
what is that called? He will be a threatening bowler for us tomorrow as well.
very true. Yes. So I think prominent spinners, yeah, from Afghanistan. I think even Noor Ahmad is there. I think this time in the list, if I'm not mistaken. I think Noor Ahmad definitely will
Yeah,
go
he
to a
should be
franchise
definitely.
this time. Yeah, I think definitely should be a player that should be going in the list as well. But yeah, coming back, I think even Lahir Kumar also here, also who could be picked tomorrow in the auction. But coming in, Suresh Raina over here, Rassi van der Dusen, I think another player who should be picked. I think I don't know. I'm not much of his 2020 performance. He's not been that consistent, but still, I think Rassi van der Dusen can do something in the LPL. Your thoughts over Rassi van der Dusen?
If Van der Dusen is picked, he can be picked in teams like Colombo, and then he can be, if he is picked, he can be one of the leading run scorer of the tournament, I feel.
Hmm. Bold move over there, and I think even Andre also Andre Fletcher did last season in the LPL as well, scoring 100 for the Candy franchise, and he was really good as well. Again, back in the auctions, I think for sure Andre Fletcher will be picked with his performance last season as well.
Definitely, Andrew Fletcher is that type of player that he has a lot of experience in subcontinent. Has played a lot in DPL. Recently, I saw him play in the ILT20 as well. He has been performing there well as well. Last year, as you have mentioned, in the LPL also he performed. So
Hmm.
I think Spiceman can be a great addition to any of the team, and I don't think that he will be picked with a very higher amount, but.
Yeah,
Maybe in like if like he will be picked at the later stages of the auction, but
yeah,
I think he can be yeah he can be picked in tomorrow's auction, yeah, considering his last year's LPL performance.
definitely, definitely, yeah. And your thoughts also, Mohammad Nabi here. I think Mohammad Nabi, I think later came to the LPL. I think he was brought in the second leg of the LPL by the Colombo franchise. I think for sure, I think Mohammad Nabi will be picked according to me. Brilliant all rounder, has done well. He's played in IPL previously for SRH and all. So your thoughts about Mohammad Nabi? Similar to, I mean, Shakib's success also, Nabi is going to there, but I mean Afghanistan cricket grew late, so we didn't see much of Nabi being in the peak. But still, your thoughts on Mohammad Nabi?
Bowling wise, I'm not sure, but currently, if you ask me, but if I am not like personally letting the quality of LPL down, but
Yeah.
to be honest, Mohammad Nabi himself doesn't get that much, he's not that much auto choice also in the Afghanistan team. So
Hmm.
I don't think that like players like him, he's now I think above 40, or looks like more than 40s, and he doesn't
Yeah.
look that much like, if I say Shoaib Malik, like he has that experience, he has that runs, and he
Hmm.
can be valuable. But I don't think currently Mohammad Nabi can be as effective as he was during his peak time, during like when he was picked in IPL.
Yeah.
But maybe I am wrong. He can, if he is picked, he can perform. But personally, personal wise, if you say if I am the owner of any LPL team, I will not be looking at him,
Hmm.
because so as I have so many options here. Like this time,
Yeah.
LPL has got so much foreign players in the auction table. So
Yes.
I think I have better options, rather than
Yeah.
Nabi.
Agree. I mean, recently he did play for the Afghanistan series against Sri Lanka in ODIs. So, I mean, he's still there in his form, but yeah, I think there are better options for LPL teams to look forward to. And looking over here, let's talk about Taskin Ahmed Mahir. Do you think Taskin will get a team? I mean, Taskin also not been. I mean, he's been performing well, not been that consistent. There have been other fast bowlers who've been doing well for Bangladesh, but still we've seen Mustafizur obviously dominating in recent times, but Taskin, can we see LPL team getting him this time around?
The thing is that it's not that LPL teams getting him. Like currently, if I say there was an offer from Yorkshire Cricket to play, Taskin Ahmed was offered to play the whole season, but BCB has all in a sudden denied his
Right.
NOC, as because they are considering Taskin as one of the main pacers for the 2023 World Cup. But
Mm.
county wise, if I say in county cricket, you have to play 50-over game, you have to play one day game, you
Yeah.
have to play all formats of the game and different atmosphere. But
Mm.
in this LPL, like where a lot of Bangladeshi players has been registered, and
Yeah.
the tournament is also short. I would want
Yes.
Taskin. He has been rejecting one leagues after another. Because of that, showing that he has international commitments. But this is the
Yeah.
time where Bangladeshi players think that. Bangladeshi players wants to participate and enjoy this league, rather than
Yeah.
uh, want to showcase themselves. They want to enjoy the league, wants to explore the beautiful Sri Lankan country. I would want Taskin Ahmed to get NOC from BCB firstly, rather than
Mm.
the teams getting picked.
Because I think he got rejected by IPL also. He was not given the NOC when he was going to be playing for Lucknow Super Giants in the last
Yeah,
IPL. And
exactly. Like
he,
when Chamira's Chamira's call was possible because Taskin was not given the NOC from the BCB, because we
yeah.
had the decider match with South Africa in the one day series, which we later
Yeah.
went on to win because of Taskin himself. He was
Yeah.
the man of the match.
Hmm. Agree. All right, we have Kunal joining us. Kunal, let's discuss. I mean, we already discussed about this, but Suresh Raina in the LPL auction list tomorrow. Do we see Suresh Raina getting picked? According to you, being an Indian fan, how do you see like the expectations of Suresh Raina tomorrow in the LPL auction?
I think the way the Raina is playing, but I know that recently Raina is not playing that much. But yes, the experience they have, the experience in middle order. If the any team is thinking about a good middle order batsman who can play long and long and with a good strike rate also, then that team can pick him, and I think so he will get more money.
Hmm.
I'm hoping.
Agree. Hmm. Yes, I agree with you. Yes, and going through this list also, we have Sandeep Lamichan as well in this list. Kunal, your thoughts about Sandeep Lamichan? Do you think LPL teams will take him with his recent form? I don't. He's not played that much cricket in past because he was in prison for some reasons. But can we see Lamichan in LPL?
Yes, because type of quality that gives you Sandeep Lamichane, as I know that how he was playing for Nepal, their contribution with Nepal, as well as Delhi Capitals also. How much time
Hmm.
he was there in Delhi Capitals? Delhi Capitals qualifies also. He gives the quality of spin attack. So I think the type of pitch Sri Lanka have, I think so. The pitch will definitely assist him, and he will be the successful bowler.
Agree. All right, let's come to Mahir. Your thoughts on Nasum Ahmed, because I think he's a left arm orthodox spinner. He's pretty much okay. I mean, in test I've seen a bit of him. Not much. I mean, 2020 World Cup he played in 2021, 22, I think also. But any thoughts? Do you think he will be picked by any teams? I mean, even though he's a spinner, I'm not sure though whether
He
teams
do.
will
He
pick
can
him.
bat
But
a bit. He can bat a bit. He can hit some lusty blows. I think, but I don't like how can I say actually, because it's an auction thing, and then Nasum
uh,
Ahmed is not that much well recognized like the Mitchell Satners, the even if I say George Linde,
yeah.
who was playing in the BPL. I don't know how is Nasum Ahmed presented in the
How
world
has he
cricket.
been performing in the BPL? Has he been good, or like the performances in BPL? Because like LPL teams will be checking like the stats of players, like how they've been performing BPL before picking up Bangladesh players.
Yeah, definitely. And Nasum Ahmed has been a auto choice for us if in terms of T20 cricket. If T20 cricket in T20 cricket, he has always with the team. He played the last two T20 World Cups. He has been one of the most economic bowlers. And then
Yeah.
he sometimes can be a crisis man in the batting department. He can sometimes hit some cameo knocks. So
Yes.
as a
Agree.
Bangladeshi, I know him, but the thing is that in the auction table, it's all
Hmm.
about like how the management or if the past
Team
any Sri
owners.
Lankan
Yeah.
coaches have seen him. Rangana Herat has been monitoring him for a long period of time. I don't
Yeah.
know whether suppose if they want to pick Nasum, they will call Rangana or not. They will ask him like, how is this guy? Definitely Rangana can say that yeah, he is my student, and then yeah,
Hmm.
he has some promise in him. So
Agree.
I would
Definitely.
want like that. As a Bangladeshi fan, I can hope, but I don't think personally that
Hmm.
he will get chance.
Agree, agree. I agree with you completely. All right, let's come to this guy once again. Kunal, your thoughts about Ibrahim Gadran, because he's been doing well in ODI cricket recently. I've not seen much of him in 2020 cricket yet. I think he played the Asia Cup last year in the 2020 World Cup. But can we expect Ibrahim Gadran to be sold by any team tomorrow, Kunal?
Yes, but not that much money because if I talk about the Jadran performance, he is good against Sri Lanka. But if we see the stats on different ground, also even in T20 World Cup, he was not as much promising. But yes, which team wants any opener? If there is opening scarcity, then he will goes on base price, not more than that.
Hmm, agreed. All right, let's come to Mahir once again. Mehdi Hassan Miraz is over here. I think one of the best all rounders right now going on. Even in 2020 ODI, I think he's performed well in all pitches. I think Bangladesh and in overseas conditions as well. So, how do you think a player like Mehdi Hassan Miraz can contribute to a franchise team? I mean, especially in the LPL, how do you think he'll perform?
Uh, Virat has been, if you see the India series especially, he got that limelight because he single-handedly won the series for us. In the last November, I think, in the December month. Yeah. So
Yeah.
as I've said about Nasum, like Nasum is useful, is a handy customer, but Nasum don't have that kind of exposure or that kind of marketing wise, he won't get that much demand tomorrow. But Mehdi
Yeah.
Hasan Miraj is one of the biggest players right now in Bangladesh cricket, and we call him the next Shakib Al Hasan of our cricket. So
Mm.
we can hope Miraj gets picked, but I can't guarantee you that what is that called? The management will pick him or not.
Uh, Definitely. Coming to Kunal once again, Kunal Muhammad Hafiz. We know what a experienced player Muhammad Hafiz has been, one of the greats in Pakistan cricket, especially 2020 cricket. He's dominated just like Shoaib Malik with runs. I mean, Muhammad Hafiz is a proper all rounder. So, how do you see? I mean, Hafiz has played last season in Goa Gladiators, the Jaffna franchise also in previous seasons. So, your thought about Hafiz, Kunal?
I think I am fan of this cricketer. Not only for his batting, also from bowling. Also, he will give you some overs. And if I
Yeah.
talk about the career of the Mohammad Hafiz, the way he was playing in a age of 40 plus, he is a
Hmm.
good batsman. After AB de Villiers, if anyone can play after 40 years with a good shot, with a good strike rate, I think he is a good utility player and he is one of the captaincy material also because he is very good and experienced player, and I think so he will get more money.
Hmm. Also coming to you, Kunal, once again, we see Mark Deak here. I mean, he's been doing well for Ireland
Marketing, yeah.
recently. Yeah, I mean, a proper all round as well. How do you think like LPL teams will go after Mark Adair? I think even Harry Tector is there. I think in the list below, but Mark Adair, do you think there'll be a demand for him?
Yes, definitely, because we you see the how recently Mark Eder have contributed with a bat, and you want that type of player as a fast bowling all rounder who can bat also in the lower down the order. So this is a valuable player. I think so. A team those who want some all rounder, if there is scarcity of all rounder, he will get more money.
Hmm, agree. Coming to you, Mahir, we see Noor Hassan over here. I think Noor Hassan, middle order batsman, has been doing well. I think he's been preferred above Afif Hussain in recent matches also. But what can we expect from Noor Hassan? I think he's in the list this time. Can teams pick him? I know it's a difficult question, but do you think like he'll get a demand with his recent performances?
By the way, Tisar Pereira is playing in which team?
Noor Hassan,
No, Tisara Pereira.
Jaffna Kings.
If you remember that incident, Nurul Hassan being the water boy in the Niraj Trophy
Ah, yes,
semi-final,
yes.
maybe Tisara Pereira might be wanting to get him.
But do you think like it is recent stats in 2020 like BPL performances and all, since you follow the BPL a lot and then Bangladesh cricket as well, do you think like Noor Hassan deserves to be in LPL team?
Uh, if I am not wrong, Nurul Hassan Sohan was the vice captain of the Bangladesh team even in even in last year as well, you know. And
Yeah.
then he was doing some he had some good performances. He had some cameos, but the thing is that recently he's not in the 25 member what is that called, the preliminary squad in the Bangladesh team, if I'm not wrong. And then
Yeah.
he's not even yeah, picked in the T20 squad.
Hmm.
So I don't think Nur Hassan Sohan will be picked. But if like you want some entertainment in terms of, you know, Tisara Pereira versus Nur Hassan Sohan, then you might you might get him then.
Yeah, I agree. But he's good wicket keeper. But I don't think like he'll get picked tomorrow. All right, let's go to the other players over here as well. Kunal, coming to you. Harry Tector is here. Let's discuss about these associate players. Big demand right now. India cricket is doing really well. Harry Tector right now. 2020 also, I think he can perform well. We saw in the recent Test series also Harry Tector has been performing. So your thoughts, Kunal, on Harry Tector? What of a big demand will LPL teams? I think for sure he might be picked tomorrow, but what sort of demand will go for Harry Tector?
I think demand will be high as we see in some matches. Also, Harry Tector giving some bowling option also, maybe as a part timer, but the way he is building the innings. I think Harry Tector will get the more money, maybe second highest of the
Hmm.
LPL.
Hmm. Agree. Lengel Simmons, Kuna, coming to you, former MI player. We have seen him performing in the IPL as well and in other franchises. What can we expect from Lengel Simmons? We saw and Andre Fletcher also been performing well LPL last season. Lengel Simmons also could give some, performances as well. Your thoughts?
Landon Simmons, I don't especially like this player because this is type of player who can play perform only one match. Consistency wise, he's not that type of good player. But yes, if any team required any good openers, his lack of opening, then he will get at a best price, not more
Hmm.
than that.
Agree. We got a comment over here from SSZ, and let's get Mahir to answer here. He's saying Tamin Iqbal was a hit in PSL. He was a hit in previous SLPL, so he'll definitely get picked in Lanka Premier League, says him. I think for sure. But your thoughts, Mahir?
Definitely, he is a legend of Bangladesh cricket. You know, after Sakib Al Hasan, if I say, he is the second best cricketer of Bangladesh all time, I can say. If you see the batting records, 25,000 international runs, 25 plus international hundreds, I think around 90 plus international 50s. If you see the the T20 list of T20 hundreds internationally, he is the
Yeah,
only one to have from Bangladesh. All batting records. And if you see, as I have mentioned earlier, also the Sri
yeah.
Lankans love him because of his
Mm,
behavior, because of his, the way he's always talking about Sri Lanka. Even
exactly.
if I talk about Indian fans, Pakistani fans, like all other Asian fans,
Yeah.
they love him.
Exactly, exactly. I think, as you also mentioned, he went once on a show with Russell Arnold, and the way that he likes Sri Lanka, for sure, we expect him to definitely come to the Lanka Premier League and obviously perform this time. So hopefully he gets picked by a team this time around. Also, Kunal, coming to you, we see Ben Lister over here. Ben Lister, we know, I mean, for New Zealand, I think recently picked up 5 wickets. I think he troubled a lot to Sri Lanka in New Zealand conditions, but we know, like in Kandy, we also know that it's a pace friendly pitch. So, do you think a player like Ben Lister could come into consideration, like considering like he troubled Sri Lanka in, I mean, the recent Sri Lanka versus New Zealand series?
This is not that type of famous player, so he's not that type of famous player, so I don't think he will go get more money. I think the team who want more bowlers will pick him in a base price.
Hmm. Yeah. Also, on a bit of thoughts on George Muncy as well. Kunal, do you think this sort of player should be picked by any LPL team, or do you think like he's a player to ignore?
No, this is not a player to ignore. George Muncy, his contribution will be very effective. You know that Sri Lanka is in the same group, and if George Muncy plays better quality cricket, definitely it will trouble Sri Lanka. So I think this is a good player, and he is a good opener also. So any team who have scarcity of openers will give him more and more money.
Hmm.
George
All right,
Muncy.
yeah. All right, we got another comment from SSCZ, and let's get Mahir into it. Any thoughts on Afif Hussain Durbo? Mahir, I think last season he played for
Bro bowling.
Jaffna Kings as a replacement player, and he played well, I think, in the second leg, scoring runs. But your thoughts this season of this player?
Definitely, and I think teams like Jaffna will go for him actually. As I've mentioned about Shoaib Malik, as I've mentioned that why he's not been retained, because maybe the management may have some budget for a particular player, so they might not be have not been retained. So definitely, I think Shoaib Malik and Afif will be picked for Jaffna. And if you see Afif Hassan's record in the recent past,
Yeah,
last year was completely of Afif. We were thinking about Afif Hussain being the next big superstar of Bangladesh, and all in a sudden arrives the dawn of Bangladesh cricket team, like Chandika Hathur Singh, and like how strict
yeah,
he is.
yes.
Like one series you are not performing and you are out. So
Hmm.
he has been already in some bad books for Hatu, and Afif wants to bat at the top order. If you give him
Hmm.
chance at the top order, he can give you, he can be a handy customer for any team. And I would want Jaffna this time to give batting promotion at number 3, number 4. Then he can be one of the leading run scorer of this tournament, I feel.
Because I think Jaffna utilized him at number 5 or number 6 last season, played him sort of like a finisher's role or whatever last season because they had the top order ability. But I'm not sure like whether this season they'll give him more chances in the top order though.
Yeah, that is the problem. I think Jaffna Kings, where I remember Sadira Samaravikrama, right?
Yeah,
Sadira
yes.
Samaravikrama, and there were some other Sri
Alistair
Lankan
Fernando.
top order
Alistair.
batter who
Hmm.
who also had to, like, being an opener, also had to bat at number 3, number 4. So that
Yes.
time Afif had to. He has no other option. He had to like bat at 5 and 6, and he has been doing the same thing for Bangladesh team. But as an exposure, as an Afif, currently he has been out of touch. He has been out of the national team after the disastrous India and England series. He has been
Yeah.
now out of the team, left out for the Ireland
Yeah.
series. And Afif can be a handy customer for the Bangladesh team in 2023 World Cup. So he would want this Lanka Premier League to make memorable, so that the selectors of Bangladesh team looks forward to bring him back in the national team squad. So it
Hmm.
will be a very big tournament for him, I think.
Agree, agree. Coming to Kunal, once again, we have the two Bosch brothers, Corbin Bosch and Ethan Bosch, over here for South Africa. I think Corbin was in Pal Royals in the SA20. Didn't get picked in the IPL, but your thoughts, especially on Corbin Bosch. She can bowl at 140, 150 kilometers per hour. Very promising fast bowler. Your thoughts on these two players, the Bosch brothers?
Uh, I think Bosch Brothers is performing, but not that famous player. I think so. In LPL, they will also see the same criteria like in IPL, that if the player is not that much famous, he will get maybe on base price or maybe unsold.
Hmm.
Maybe.
All right, please ask Brother Pawan, who is your favorite Bangladesh player? For me, it's going to be Shakib as always. I think no player goes above Shakib for me, the all rounder that he possesses. I mean, one of the highest wicket takers in 2020 cricket, and he's dominated in all three formats. So for me, I think, except for his behavior at times, I get really frustrated at times, but still, for me, Shakib and Tamin Iqbal also comes very close for me. I really like Tamin Iqbal, the way that he plays, especially from 2007 World Cup. I've been following Tamin Iqbal very carefully. I think he's a player that has performed for many generations. So I think for me, it's those two players above anyone for me right now. Yes. All right. So I think we discussed about the overseas players a bit. Let's go to the Sri Lankan players. Coming to you, Kunal, who do you think will be the highest prize player tomorrow? Because we have Charit Asananka, Pathum Nisanka, we have Dushmanta Chamira, Lahiru Kumara, these sort of players, Dhananjay De Silva in the auctions tomorrow. Duit Velalage is also there. Could be another player that could go high. Kusal Janit Pereira. So amongst these players, who do you think will go the highest price among Sri Lankans tomorrow, and why?
I think Chamira and Nishanka, because Chamira and Nishanka both are good player. You can say as an impact player, they can play the impactful innings and they can win the match single-handedly. I am a fan of these both the players. If I talk about Nishanka, good opener, solid opener, I think so. And if he will be picked from any of the team, I am predicting he will be the highest run getter of this tournament. Patum Nishanka and Chamira as a highest wicket taker.
But don't you
Very
think like
impressive.
Pathum Nisanka's strike rate is a bit concerning though, Kunal? Because you've seen like in the 2020 World Cup as well, like his strike rate is around 120, 130. That's why in the last
Yeah,
LPL also got rejected as well. And then later Sri Lanka cricket made him to play for a LPL team, like forced the franchises to buy him. But this season they can't do those sort of things because I mean this is auction and not a draft. So I don't think they can force players like that. But still, Kunal, your thoughts on that?
actually, it happens sometime that strike rate is a issue. You need to have good strike rate, but Nishanka have good quality, and I think he is a good quality opener. He will not get this type of opener all the time. If he see performing for Sri Lanka in T20 World Cup, T20 Asia Cup also, Sri Lanka will not forget his contribution in Asia Cup. The way he was playing in a 2020 format, he was very good in playing, and in Sri Lanka condition, he will definitely go on for runs. I will be very surprised if this player is unsold.
Hmm. What about you, Mahir? Who do you think is going to be the highest bought player amongst, I mean, Dhananjay De Silva, Nisanka, Asalanka, Chamira, Chandimal, Samara Vikrama, these sort of players? Who do you think is going to be the highest?
For me personally, fan wise, I want KGP to get the one of the highest bid in the auction. And then I love Dunit Wallage a lot. He's a complete package. I
Yeah.
watched him in the Australia series, the way he performed, and I don't know why he's left out for the World Cup qualifiers. And then I can see. Sekuke Prasanna is also one of a player. Even today, I was playing a mobile cricket game where Sekuke was bowling leg spin for me. So
Hmm.
and then he's hitting also. I remember for TKR he was playing in 2019 or 20. He
Yeah.
was single-handedly winning matches for Trinbago Knight Riders. And then
Yeah.
like Shah Rukh Khan was also appreciating him a lot. And like
Yeah.
I don't understand like why Sekuke Prasanna has been also left out from the Sri Lankan squad. And also Charit Asalanka, this guy, like he is a crisis man, I can say. I have seen him in the last two Afghanistan series, the last
Yeah.
two Afghanistan one day series, last
Yeah.
year and as well as this year. He has been always like uh, what is that called? A crisis man. And even also the jersey I'm wearing now in 2021 T20 World Cup against Bangladesh. He was
Yes.
he was one of the I think highest run scorer. Broke our
Hmm.
heart. that match.
Yes.
But Asalanka will be also one of the impactful players.
Yeah, I think Nisanka and Asalanka top five run scorers. I think in the 2020 World Cup in 2021, I think both of them performed really well, especially Asalanka as well. So that's I think where both of them got prominent. But coming to you, Kunal, see Paul Sterling. I couldn't discuss much. Paul Sterling, you think could be a high-profile player once again? I think in 2020 leagues we performed really well in T10 and all these franchise leagues that was there. Do you think Paul Sterling could be a demand?
Absolutely, Paul Sterling will be in demand if again if you want some all rounder, because Paul Sterling can bowl also. I think from that quality of batting and bowling, he can be picked, and as an opener, he will play. He is a destructive batsman in T20.
All right. Coming last question, guys, before we wrap things up. Overseas players price, Mahir, who do you think will be the highest price? According to you, like non bias, who do you think would be the highest price when it comes to the overseas players?
Overseas player, I can't actually. It will be actually quite unfair to say like who will be the particular overseas player. Like one name I can't name, but I can name a few. If I
Yeah,
see, maybe Shoaib Malik's experience would be valued a lot, and then if I come with Bangladeshi players as well,
coming
uh,
Iqbal, I think for sure.
maybe Liton Das, maybe. Maybe I
Tamin as
think
well.
Mustafizur, if he has given his name, he
I don't
can.
think Mustafizur has given his name. I think others are there, but not Mustafizur Ramando. Ramando.
Oh, okay. So, and then if I can say if I say from one particular like from the country wise, if I say like I will say I think I have seen from Pakistan Imad Wasim. Imad Wasim can also get in a higher price because I have seen him bowl brilliantly, batted brilliantly for in BPL. So Imad Wasim can be a complete package for any team. And
Yeah,
then if I talk about from West Indies, I can say. I mentioned about Andrew Fletcher. Um, Actually, I can't see any high-profile West Indian players like Andre Russell and then Dwayne
yeah.
Bravo, those kind of players.
I
So
think
I
Evan
would like
Lewis
to
is
see
there.
Sunil Narayan.
Kevin Lewis, Carlos Brathwaite, I think those sort of players are only there, I think, and Andre Fletcher, those kind of players only from West Indies this time around. Because I think
Yeah,
the CPL also clashes with the LPL, so I think that's why not many West Indies players are registered this time around.
and definitely as because here I think Kunal is also here. I would definitely want Suresh Raina to get in a higher price because the respect CSK should have shown to him, the farewell he deserved, like MSD, like he didn't get. Definitely, I would want Sri Lanka to give him that respect, which IPL couldn't give him.
Agree. Kunal, yeah, so I think for Kunal, same question for you. Who do you think is going to be the highest price players amongst overseas players for you?
Imad Wasim, of course, Imad Wasim, his all-rounder ability, I think so. And I want second highest must be Suresh Raina.
Hmm.
Second highest.
Hmm. For me, I have a different context. I think for me, I would like to see Sikandar Rasa getting the highest pick because that guy,
Oh, I
he
just forgot
deserves.
his name. Yeah.
I think he deserves a lot. I think, especially not appreciated much for Punjab Kings. Also, the way that he was playing, I think he got dropped and was terrible management from PBKs. The way that they managed Sikandar Rasa and the way that he's playing for Zimbabwe right now in all three formats. The way that they beat Pakistan and that was from Sikandar Rasa's bowling performance. Also, the way that he's performing right now, I think Raza deserves a lot. I think of money in tomorrow's auction. And then another player, yes, I agree with you guys, Imad Wasim as well for me. And I hope Tamin Iqbal also gets a lot. I mean, especially this player, I think deserves a lot of respect. I know he doesn't play much now for Bangladesh anymore, but I mean, still in 2020 cricket, especially. But I still think like Tamin Iqbal deserves a lot, according to me. If yeah, I think those sort of players. I think Rasivan Dusan, one other name I would like to pick. I mean, if he goes to demand as well overseas players wise, I would like him to also go for a lot of money. Anyways, guys, we'll wrap things up here. So thank you so much, Mahir and Kunal, for joining us. And tomorrow, let's
Brother,
hope for the
do give me an update about Bangladeshi players if anyone is picked.
yes, definitely. Yes. So LPL auction tomorrow starting at 3 p.m. IST. So in Indian Standard Time. So hopefully, I mean, you can watch it on the Sri Lanka Cricket YouTube channel. I hope it goes to other nations as well. Sri Lanka for sure, we can watch it, but I'm not sure for overseas countries whether you guys will be able to watch the auctions tomorrow, but it's going on the Sri Lanka Cricket YouTube channel tomorrow and on the Lanka Premier League Facebook website also. So you can check on both. It's not telecasted on TV tomorrow. So you can check on those sources tomorrow. So just check whether anyone living overseas can check whether it's going on the Sri Lanka Cricket YouTube channel or not. So yeah, that is it from me. But one thought, Kunal, Charu Sharma is going to be the auctioneer tomorrow. How can we expect from him, because he auctioneered for the IPL 2022 auctions also when Hugh Ekins actually collapsed and he was the replacement. So your thoughts on Charu Sharma?
Very knowledgeable. I like his voice also, like he was conducting auction in IPL, and I am hoping that Sri Lanka will go into the new rise, and Sri Lanka will be named after India. That it will become the one of the successful auction. After the auction, I hope this tournament will be great, and Sri Lanka cricket will grow. And after India, the Sri Lanka will be named as successful country.
Hmm. Mahir, your thoughts also on Charu Sharma? I mean, it's a good high-profile person coming in to do the auctions. I mean, IPL 2022 also he was the replacement, and he did that really well after Hugh collapsed and couldn't continue. So, your thoughts?
Being brother, being a subcontinental cricket fan, I would definitely appreciate Sri Lankan cricket board to, to support or to give chance to someone from our subcontinent who can do similar kind of, what is that called, auction. He can handle similar kind of auction things, but I don't understand why does bigger leagues has to always fascinate towards those white skins, towards those Australians, towards those New Zealanders, towards those Englanders. Like that's like quite unnecessary. While we have from our own, subcontinent, we have got few auctioneers or few, if I can say, even from the coaching panel also, I see always like they try to like bring some kind of attraction, bringing some white skin.
Hmm.
Why is the reason, but I would definitely salute and I would definitely thank Sri Lankan cricket to give chance like Charu Sharma, who can do similar. Or I think his way of presenting is more better than sometimes I can feel like that auctioner who got fall down. Like the way
Yeah.
Charu was handling, I thought that from 2023 he will get that chance, but he didn't get chance. One of the most underrated what is it called, auctioneer as well as commentator. And
Hmm.
brother, one thing to say is that if like
Yeah.
multiple Bangladeshi players are picked, can we see any Bangladeshi commentators in the LPL?
I think there are certain Bangladeshi commentators. I can't remember off top of my head, but there are one or two, right, who are in the ICC elite list, right, in the commentators,
They do,
if
yeah.
I'm
They have
mistaken.
Atar Ali Khan, they have
Yeah,
Shamim
Attar
Ashraf
Ali
Choudhury.
Khan. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think Attar Ali was there. I think for one LPL, if I'm not mistaken. I am not that sure, but I think for sure he should be there. I think
I think Shamim
Attar Ali.
Choudhury has more chance because Athar, he's like he has been always traveling with the national team. So maybe he might not give that commitment. He has like some family commitments, but I think Shamim Ashraf Choudhury and Roshan Abhisingh has got some good chemistry among them. In the BPL also we do see Roshan coming and then
Yeah.
doing
Yes.
commentary. I would want
Mhm.
Shamim Ashraf Choudhury to be doing the commentary for in LPL.
Hmm, agree. All right, so thank you so much, Mahir, once again for joining us. So tomorrow, do join us like at 2:15 for the LPL auction coverage here on the sports program. And you can watch on the Sri Lanka cricket as well and listen to our commentary and all updates as well. So thank you once again, Mahir, for joining us and insights on Bangladesh players as well.
Thank you so much, Pawan, for inviting me.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we'll leave it over there. So do subscribe the Sports Breakdown, like, comment, and share, and do check on Mahir's as well. Facebook page. Mahir, if you can tell like your Facebook, like your updates, like your page that people can visit, like because you update on Bangladesh cricket.
I used to have a cricket page called as Chat Chokka, but nowadays it's not available. I have deactivated that page. But I do run another cricket page called as Cricket Mania. There, I sometimes do post. I'm not right now not that much regular as because I have got some academic commitments. But definitely Asia Cup is coming, World Cup is coming, so
Yeah.
definitely you can get some regular contents and regular live shows from my cricket channel. It's called as Cricket Mania. And Pawan, it's it's a lovely time always talking with you regarding cricket. We always talk in chats, and then
Yes.
today in shows we are also doing shows. So it's like lovely thing. It's not like
Yeah.
I would say the Sri Lankan fans also like the
Yeah.
wars, or Bangladeshi fans also, like we are like in social media, I see some like each other always having wars, but it's not like
Yeah.
that. There are friendly things. If you see, like, if I say Bangladesh cricket today growing, there are a lot of
Yeah.
uh, contributions towards Sri Lankan guys also. Like a lot of Sri Lankan coaches has been coaching us, and
Yeah.
even in our country we can see a lot of Sri Lankan workers working in our garment sector industry. So we are friends,
Yes.
and I don't know, like for a sport, for a cricket match, we should not involve in those kind of cheap acts, or in the social media wars, I would say.
Mm, mm. Definitely, especially the head coach Chandrika Hadur Singh has brought the best success out of Bangladesh cricket. I think back in 2015-16, I think Bangladesh cricket had the best period. I think under him, and in general also, I think beating India, Pakistan in Bangladesh, and beating South Africa as well. I think in Test series also you guys did well under Hatur Singh, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yeah, yeah, we did went on to win for the first time against England, against Australia, against Sri Lanka. And Sri Lanka was very
Yeah.
special. In I think
Mm.
Pisara Oval, we won the test
Yes.
match in our
2012.
100 test match.
Yes.
That was also special. And I would urge Sri Lankan fans, as because we have been known that Asia Cup's last later stages will be held in Sri Lanka. And if Bangladesh gets on to, this year is very special for us because our veterans are retiring. So
Yeah.
if anything like Nita's story happens, like Bangladesh versus India final, or any other teams playing finals with Bangladesh, if we can go to the finals, I would want Sri
Mm.
Lankan fans this time to support us, because we badly need some major tournament win because of our seniors. They are retiring, and I would want Sri Lankans to support us in the stadium.
Yeah, definitely. I think last time it was very sad to see like Bangladesh getting out of the Asia Cup 2022 because of Sri Lanka last time, and I mean Afghanistan also beat Sri Lanka, which is why I think Afghanistan went through to the Super Six as well. So unfortunately that happened, but I hope this time at least it will be Sri Lanka and Bangladesh in the Super Four and not Afghanistan. I mean Afghanistan, there are emerging cricketers coming up. I mean, but for this, I think this year, I think Bangladesh very vital for them because of the ODI World Cup. It's ODI format as well, Asia Cup this time around. So I think Bangladesh has a higher chance this time to make it to the Super Four, and I mean more than the Super Four. I think they can also reach the finals as well, if possible. I mean, especially the groups as well.
Yeah, definitely. If you see the past Asia Cup records, also we have played thrice. I think, if I'm not wrong, in 2012, 2016, and 2018, we went on to play Asia Cup finals. But we were close in 2012, so close, but we could not win it. It was quite a heartbreaking. It was our winning situation. It was everything was in our hands, but we could not unfortunately win that one. So
Yeah.
the thing is that getting final will not be the main target of us, but going to the final and winning it will be this time the main target for us. Because as I mentioned, the great the Fab Four of our Bangladesh cricket, Sakib Al Hasan, Mahamadullah, Mushfiq, and Tamim Iqbal, like their last. This is their last international cricket year, so we want them to win. End with the high.
Yeah, definitely, yes. So hopefully that happens tomorrow. So we'll discuss more about these things tomorrow and after also. So thank you so much once again, Mahir, for joining us, and we'll end it over here. So see you guys tomorrow for the LPL 2023 auctions updates and all on this channel. So until then, guys, see you guys. Thank you so much. Also, just to mention before leaving, guys, just got information composition: 24 members, international players 6, mandatory domestic players 14, maximum 18. Team salary cap is 1 million USD. Direct signing budget 500,000 USD max. Auction purse budget 500,000 USD max. Contract period is 3 years. This is to ensure continuity is built for the squads. Franchise retains the rights to retain or release players. Cap players 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 US dollars base price, and uncapped base price is 20,000. Players who have played a minimum of 50 first class matches across formats are the criteria for uncapped players. Base price is 10,000. Players who have played a minimum of 25 first class matches, I think that's for uncapped. And bidding process: at any given time during the auction, two teams will be bidding, and when one team resigns from the ongoing bid, the next team can place their bid. So, all right, guys, we'll end it over there. So, thank you so much once again. We see 4 viewers watching. So, come tomorrow for the LPL auctions. I'll be doing in Sinhala and English both. 2:15 p.m. tomorrow. We'll be doing a long live stream tomorrow. So stay tuned. Until then, guys, see you guys.